Everybody got me? All right. Really love where this football team is right now. The energy level, the enthusiasm, the ability to get out there and practice at a speed at what we're practicing at and getting after each other and still compete. It says a lot how much this football team has grown. I'm really excited about that. We got some heat that was thrown on us a little bit today, which was good. We needed that. And, man, you hear guys out there encouraging each other to keep pushing through. We purposely try to strain these guys in some tough situations. We had some situational awareness things today that we had to hit, and it was good. And by purpose, by design, we wanted to really tax these guys. And, man, I'm excited about where we are moving forward into going into full pads tomorrow. Defensively, I think defensively right now we're playing at a speed in which we haven't since we've been here. These guys, I think that's a credit to some depth that we have in our D-line. I think it's very much evident that those guys are helping each other out. I think the back end have been extremely impressed with Busta Brown and Cam Curl. These are two guys that have really caught our attention. And then obviously Joe Fouché is another one that's coming on. But those two guys have really stepped up. But I've been really pleased with the way our defense has looked. Offensively, we're not as consistent as we need to be, but we are much better. We are much better, and I want to credit a lot of that. Hopefully, it's the fact of we've got a pretty stout defensive line. It's very disruptive, but we're going to continue to push on each other and get better. So. But I do like where we are going into full pads. So with that, I'll open up.
Coach, a couple players missing today: Noah Gatlin, Dalton Hyatt, Eric Gregory, Torian Carter, and Luke Jones. Can you update us on those?
Yeah, obviously Noah Gatlin's out. We knew that. We got surgery. Torian Carter, shoulder, should be back in a couple of days. All those guys that were in yellow today should be back. Dalton Hyatt had a strain. I think it's either a high hamstring or something, but we anticipate him being back soon. But most of those guys they'll be back. They're just precautionary.
Coach, I had a question about CJ. Guy's a senior. I know you're looking to him for some leadership, but I'm not sure if he's been working first team the first couple of days. What's going on with him and then the whole tight end room?
Well, I think we've got some competition in that room, and I think it's iron sharpens iron. And we got a standard that we set we're going to play at, and you do that, and then you'll be running with the group you want to run with. If not, we'll let you run with the other groups. And so that's kind of where we're at with CJ. And CJ is a senior, and CJ's got to decide if this is exactly what he wants to do. And our standard's not going to change. He's one of the best football players in the country, and we're going to treat him that way. And so we're going to see how he responds.
Coach, 4 days in, can you update us on the quarterback battle? No full pads and no scrimmaging yet, but where are we right now?
Yeah, I think we're right on schedule. I'm excited about watching all of these guys compete. I think the scrimmage on Saturday will be big. We're going in we're doing a lot of good situational work out here. We're putting quarterbacks with different groups. So not do they just stay with one group, the first group. They may be working with the second group or the third group to see how they move those guys around. So I've been really pleased with watching these guys compete. I think the ball jumps out of their hands. I've been very impressed with all of them and their decision making. So much better than it was a year ago.
To build off that tight end question, Coach, is guys like Chase Harrell jumping out at you guys that maybe weren't big names a year ago? Yeah,
Chase has completely transformed his body, and he's so much more at home at that tight end position, and so I'm really pleased with Chase. I think Chase is going to add great value to that room this year.
Chad, what are you anticipating the first day in pads? How excited do you get for that? And then what are the key things you're going to be looking for, or the coaching staff's going to be looking for out of the scrimmage on Saturday?
Yeah, we're not going to – first day of pads is tomorrow. I mean, you got to be smart about it. So we'll slowly build up. We were in a thud mode today, which means tomorrow that we'll be in a lot of teaching mode. So there won't be any live work tomorrow. It'll be a lot of teaching tomorrow, just getting them used to those full pads. Thursday, on the other hand, will be a live day. Will be a lot of full tackling, getting them to the ground. And then Friday will be a day to where we'll pull back, kind of do an extended walkthrough, and then Saturday with a big scrimmage. And really what we want to see is consistency. We want to see what we've been seeing in practice. We want to see the mistakes that were made in practice not be made again on Saturday. And that's really what we're after, guys making plays, protecting the football. I think defense created 3 turnovers again today, which is big. That's our goal. We got to protect the football offensively.
Coach, with the running backs, T.J. Hammond, how does he progress here early in camp?
You know, TJ's just came to work, and that's what we've asked TJ to do. You know, he didn't go through spring. He's got a lot to come back out and earn. No one's going to give him anything, and so he's came out and he's gone to work, and he's just like all those other guys out there. They're battling for playing time right now. So I've been pleased. I've watched him. I think he's definitely got a different gear. Had a great play today out on the edge where he was able to outrun someone. But again, it's about consistency. I can see it for 4 days, but that mean okay. I've seen that. I want to see it over the course of time, and he's shown that. So we'll see.
Coach, we get questions about some of the guys that came in during the summer. Were you able to put like Luke Jones and some of those guys on scholarship, or is it where you at with that?
I have not with Luke. No, I haven't.
Yeah, Jamario Bell, he's one of those guys that, I mean, he's got a lot of potential, but do you think he might have a breakout senior year this year?
Well, you know, Jamario, I know we talked about C.J. O'Grady a few minutes ago being a senior, and now it's time. Jamario, same way. I mean, it's time. Now it's time. You've been here. You've been in the program. You're from Arkansas. It's time now to really take it over the top and really come in here and make a difference in your position room. We've challenged him. I know Coach Caldwell's challenged him. And, you know, for what we've seen this summer, and he's met the challenge. And so he's had a really good 4 days, very active. He's long, and obviously he's just, you know, we need some production out of that position and him.
Coach, you've seen the newcomers a little bit. I'm curious to just the freshmen, and in particular Catalan and Traylon Burks that are coming back from tough injuries, and how they've been able to fight through these 4 days.
Yeah, I've been very pleased with all our young guys. These guys have came in here and they have taken everybody. Everybody's elevated their game this year. Let me just start with that. And I think it's a credit to a lot of things. I think bringing that class in has helped. It wasn't the sole reason why everybody else has elevated their game, but that was a big part of it. Creates competition. And so I've been very pleased with them. I've been really pleased with the older guys really taking the younger guys and accepting the role that they're coming in and getting pushed and help show them this is how we do things in this program. I've been really impressed with that. Now, back on the specific guys, I saw Traylon Burks make a one-handed catch out here today that I don't know if I've seen a kid make. It was unbelievable. You know, he's just powerful. He's very much attention to detail. He wants to do everything perfect. But again, that comes with being a young guy and coming out making plays. I mean, the stage is not too big for these guys that we brought in here. The Catalan, I know you mentioned Jalen Catalan. He had a interception return for a touchdown yesterday. That he did outrun Chief. I don't know if you saw the video, but he did outrun Chief. But you know, again, what does he do? He comes in, they provide value, they provide great depth back there. They're listening, they're talking. I mean, Jalen's back there listening to Cam talk. He's listening to Joe, and then he gets in there and he gets his moment. You make a play, and that's what you do. But even those guys up front, Colin Clay out there today. I mean, he was getting it. You know, Dylan Rathke, Brady Latham, these guys that we brought in here, they've all provided great value for this football program, both on the field and off the field. So I've been really pleased with these guys coming in.
Jay, I want to clarify. You said the defense got 3 turnovers today.
Mm-hmm.
Were those like team periods, and who got them? Can you
No,
paint any kind of picture?
were. Yeah, I believe they were in a team period. I don't know exactly who all got them because I'm on 2 different fields at times. So.
Coach, with Catalan, is he working primarily at free or strong, or I know you said maybe some nickel stuff?
Yeah.
And how also is Greg Brooks? I mean, he's been pretty much in the starting role there.
Yeah, I was pleased with Greg. Greg actually made an incredible play out here today. Again, pleased with him. One of the young guys coming in that's holding up his weight, end of it. I think Scooter said it best in his interview with y'all out there. I mean, he wants to provide those guys, he wants them to understand he doesn't have next year. He's got right now. And he wants those guys, he wants to elevate them. So it's all working together. I'm proud of Greg. Jalen is working, he's working some free and he's working some nickel.
First off, what was a great play that Brooks made?
You know, it was right here at the end. He made a great play on a ball, batting it down.
And then you were talking about Bell a minute ago. The defense end, it seems like Richardson's kind of accepted that leadership role, and Dorian Gerald's in his second year now. What do you expect from those two guys and those ends as a group? Because it's kind of weird. You got seniors and freshmen. You know, nothing in between.
Yeah, well, you know, Dorian is a guy that, what has he got, 114 days left or 100 and whatever his season is. And so he's got his whole career has come down to the next 114 days and how he approaches one day at a time and how his preparation is. So really challenging those guys. You know, you got to prepare every day as if your last day, because it's ticking down for them. So I've seen a difference in Dorian. I really have. And and Gabe, again, just a true leader. You know, Gabe is vocal, but Gabe's holding his own out there and doing some good things. Again, helping provide depth at that position. Both Gabe and Dorian and Jamario are three guys that we've got to have production out for that position to be successful for us.
You said Dorian, you see a difference.
Yeah, sense of urgency. I thought last year at times he was very inconsistent. And but just over 4 days, obviously through the winter condition, I think that he's learned that, and we've noticed a change in him from the summer and just how he's worked to understand what his purpose is.
You've had, you know what you're going to get out of Harris at linebacker. What have you seen out of those other guys? And do you think there's a chance you won't have to play, maybe them as many snaps as you did last year?
Well, I'm very pleased with Hayden Henry. You win a lot of football games with a guy like that. I mean, he plays with a chip on his shoulder. Him and Bumper Pool and Grant Morgan. I mean, these guys, they got an edge. They play with a great edge. I've been really pleased with the progression of D.D. Edwards and Gio LaFrance. Both of these two guys have really are coming into their own. Again, why? Because I believe they see guys around them that have elevated their game, and they're like, if I don't pick my game up, I'm fixing to fall behind. And that's how you get a better football team, is you got to create competition. But I was talking with Chief last night before we got out of here and walked through, and we were talking about the linebacker group and talking in particular about Hayden Henry and a Bumper Pool and Grant Morgan. I mean, these guys, they play with great passion. And that's what we've got to have. They have a huge love of the Hogs. And when you got that, you got a lot. He is. Yeah, he is. He's working Will and doing some really good things. You know, he's making that transition from nickel over to Will, or from Sam to Will, and it really is more of a comfortable position for him into that boundary spot. A guy that's an older guy that again is just he's got providing some value in that area. Really pleased with him.
Yeah, one more on linebacker, Andrew Parker. And did you have any injuries today?
Nothing major today outside of we had some heat exhaustion a little bit that I can recall. Yeah, those three were just more or less heat. Andrew Parker is a guy, the second year, redshirted last year, really struggled with injuries last year. And so, he's had 4 good days of camp. We're going to challenge him and keep pushing him. But has he gotten better? Absolutely. They've all gotten better.
Coach, last spring y'all talked about toughness, and that was a big part of what y'all tried to get accomplished. Have you seen that translate, and maybe you hadn't put on full pads yet, but have you seen an indication that maybe that had some merits?
Yeah, absolutely we have. And it's been a noticeable transformation. But a lot of that has to do with our expectations. This is what we expect, this is how we're gonna do it, and you're gonna do it this way. If you don't do it this way, then we're gonna find somebody else that will do it this way. And you have to play with a toughness, an edge, and that's something that was set in January. And we kept working on that edge and that toughness all the way through our fourth quarter phase. So it's been noticeable. It has been. And it's been noticeable in an area that, when things get tough, there's not the complaining and the moaning out there, the excuse making. We don't need that. And that's why I made a comment earlier, that just seeing when it did get tough and things weren't going good, you had guys out there really picking each other up and encouraging, let's finish this thing. It doesn't matter about the last play. It's all about one play at a time.
Chad, with O'Grady, I think you said something like he's one of the best players in the country. We're going to treat him that way. Could you? I think I know what you meant, but could you expand on what you meant? Because I don't want to assume and be wrong.
I sure can. All the great players that I've coached that have been truly a difference maker, you were able to hold those guys to a higher standard than you were anybody else. But they wanted it. They demanded that. Taj Boyd demanded that. Deshaun Watson, they demanded that. Nuke Hopkins demanded that. Sammy Watkins demanded that. Cortland Sutton demanded that. They didn't want to be. They look, don't treat me like everybody else. I want you to hold me to a higher standard. I want you to be tougher on me than you are others. Because if that's the case, all the young guys understand. Wow, if you're going to get on that guy, if you're going to get on to Cortland Sutton, you're going to get on me. If he overlooks Cortland Sutton, or he doesn't overlook that, he ain't overlook me as a true freshman. So it again picks everybody up.
How would you say he's responding to that?
Well, he's working a little bit with the third unit right now. So we'll see. He's getting some first unit too. So he'll respond. He'll respond. He always does. He's done it the last couple days. Anyone else? Thank you.